Dynamic entry. Hey guys, back again this week, sitting down, just me and Benham here. We are going to be doing something fun for you today. We're going to be exploring the world of foods because we're hungry.
I am.
So, on this one, we're going to be doing a bracket of the best fictional foods in fiction. That's right. So, let's talk about it. Alright, so we've done a bracket before. We've done best
Hair.
We've done best something else. I forgot. I can't remember off the top of my head. We've done brackets before. Anyway, everybody loves brackets. If you don't know how they work, basically it's like March Madness style. 16 representatives for a category go in. In this case, the category being best fictional foods, and one will remain. Single elimination, bracket style. They're seeded for the most part based on popularity, how much they've been represented in the public eye. So we'll go on. I'm not going to tell you guys the contestants. We're just going to get you the contestants as we go. So just know there's 16 fictional foods here. They're going to be from anime, video games, cartoons, and sometimes movies. So we're going to do just basically like anime, and there wasn't enough. And then we're going to do video games, and then there wasn't enough. So I had to find a way to kind of work that around. And the best way I thought was just doing fictional overall. So basically, when you see these foods, these are all going to be foods that you've seen before, and you've been like, wow, I want to eat that. So that's what the whole thing is. So the way we'll eliminate them is, I guess, what looks the most delicious. And if it's a tie, we'll go based off of appearance. And at that point, if it's a tie, we'll go based off of how we feel about the item specifically. Anyway, so let's get into it. First matchup here, we have the number 1 seed. That's right, the most famous of all, Ichiraki Ramen from Naruto. Versus
Badass ramen.
just demon food from Aruma.
Welcome to Demon School, Iruma-kun.
That's the one.
That's the one.
So, what do we have here? I'm gonna be honest. I've never seen the demon foods before. You just told me to put it on the list, so I put it on here.
You know, it's just one of those things. I enjoy the show very much. I think a lot of people do. It's getting to season 2 very soon at some point. Just for those fans out there that do watch this. It looks like garbage. I'm not gonna lie. It's just they're demons, so you know they're not focused on like it looking pretty or tasty or anything like that, but you get Iruma, who's a human, not a demon.
Okay.
He eats the food,
Okay.
and it's really good. Like he loves it.
Okay.
That's the one thing about this kid. He fucking eats, but it looks like bugs, plants, garbage. Some of it has faces on it,
Ew.
but it's all very delicious.
Okay, so based off of appearance, it's definitely gonna lose. I'm assuming.
Oh yeah, it's like if you looked at this food, you would not eat it.
But deliciousness. What
But
do you
like
think
you-
is more delicious?
Yeah, it's like you take a bite of it, and you apparently it's really good.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, based off that, it's like obviously you see that bowl of Ichiraki Ramen, and you're like, damn, it looks good. You can just smell it. I mean, obviously, if you look at this, at the demon food, you're just gonna be like, that's garbage.
Yeah.
As humans, yeah, it's probably not very good. But I mean, you look at the Ichiraki Ramen, like that man at that shop,
He packs it.
he packs it up for sure. And
Yeah.
I mean, if someone like Naruto has been going there for his entire life, that man's sodium level's got to be off the charts.
Yeah. If they had a point system, I think he'd probably get a ton of free meals.
He has to have like the platinum card
Yeah.
of Ichiraki Ramen.
One. It's weird because it's ramen. It's just ramen at the end of the day. But this is based off of the one we've seen on screen. So it's not going to be like, oh, I can just go home and make that like your homemade ramen. No, it's going to be what we've seen on screen. So any other bowl of ramen, it can be good. But this one just looks way more like a next level compared to just your mom and dad's ramen.
You got you got the pork in there, that char siu pork everybody knows and loves. Like you can't get that same kind of quality looking. Like it just looks like juicy.
Yeah.
Up in that. Like I know some other chefs can, but you can't get that color. Nothing like that.
And the fish cakes, the famous swirly ones, it's just
Always
iconic.
The always perfect ramen egg.
Yep.
The perfect shade, perfect yolk every single time. You can't do that. You overcook your eggs. I've seen it.
I've seen it too. It's a lot. You gotta do like 4 minutes, maybe sometimes 5. But yeah, I think just based off of the first 2 categories, looks wise and iconicness, Ichiraki has to win this.
It's gonna win every single time.
So we're going to advance the Ichiraki Ramen. All right, next matchup we have
My spinach puffs.
Kronk's Spinach Puffs from Emperor's New Groove versus Jawbreakers, which we've seen in Ed and Eddie. So these are both
That's a difficult round. I want to say
we have candy versus an actual like appetizer, I guess. Savory versus sweet. What would you pick?
because I think when you think spinach puffs, you think like spinach, cheese, little puff pastry.
Yeah.
You know, it's a nice little snack, little appetizer. So it seems good. I will obviously, Who would want to try those things? Those come out looking perfect. They have the golden brown crust.
Almost burns them.
Almost burns. That's right.
But doesn't.
Saved them.
Yeah. Oh, saved them. And then just Jawbreakers from Ed, Edd n Eddy.
But I mean, like the huge Jawbreakers that like the malforms the whole cheek.
Yeah.
And the amount of like just the. I'm drooling now just thinking about it. 'Cause it's just like the way when they eat them, it's just like
it just looks so good.
Like it's so like obviously it's kind of gross and drooly. But I was like, there's something about. I personally, though, am not a big fan of Jawbreakers.
Yeah, I'm not either.
I can't sit there and, for lack of a better word, suck on an orb-like object for that long.
You get tired, especially like just like.
That's like your jaw starts to hurt. Like, yeah, it's like, what do you do with the big ones? You just fucking keep licking that thing until it, like my tongue would be raw.
Yeah, and then you put it back. You come back to it days later. It's like
they look good. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
like, I would like to take, but I was like, when it comes down to like practicality, looks, I think. Spinach puffs win every time. You got that golden brown crust. You don't get the full, obviously the close up. You just get
see the steaming plate.
You see the steaming plate come out. But I mean, it's Kronk. I don't think I've seen this man cook multiple things. I don't think he would mess those up at all.
He's the most like diverse character ever. He can cook.
He's what? In his
he can clean.
Late 20s.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure. He seems nice. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to go. I think looks wise, I think the Jawbreakers are better. But as far as like just what I'd want to eat, like based off of like a food wise, I think it's gonna be Kronk's too.
But Jawbreakers of all, it was crazy. Like Jawbreakers of all things, like
why they pick that?
Why Jawbreakers?
Yeah, but
and for 25 cents, you're telling me this man couldn't make a quarter ever?
Hey, inflation, prices have gone up. Back then, it's probably a lot of money. So I'm gonna pick Kronk's spinach puffs because for me, I just know what Jawbreakers would do to you, and it would just be not a fun time.
I'm also gonna go with Kronk's spinach puffs, but I'm a sucker for Emperor's New Groove.
A sucker for Jawbreakers. All right, next round we have Elle's Strawberry Shortcake from Death Note.
Death Note, ooh.
Versus any stew you make in Red Dead Redemption. If you sit by the campfire, the chef brings you out like a thing of stew. And yeah, so
I've done that like cake, maybe once.
Oh my god, that cake from Death Note is it's so good.
It looks like fucking pristine.
Yeah, every time I see it, I'm like, I need to go get something from a bakery and try to just satiate my craving. And it's just nothing looks as good as that, unless you're like, I guess if you live in Japan, you probably could find it really easily.
I've seen a few recipes where people do like the gelatin on top, and it's like a glass cake almost. That shit looks crazy.
Wow, but stew though,
you can't go wrong with stew.
What was it? Carrots, beef, a little bit of onions, and just like
potatoes, and in a broth. Basically, it's like American ramen.
Just with no noodles. I guess so. When you put it that way,
with no noodles.
It just sounds.
Our starch is potato.
At the end of the day, like you've been riding horseback all day, and chasing down bandits. And you just want to sit by the campfire and eat some soup, warm yourself up in the desert. Although it's hot during the day, it gets very cold during night. Yeah, I don't know. I think just because I spent more time wanting the shortcake more than I did wanting the stew. But I would never pass up a good stew.
I don't know if I can do the bear stew per se, because I know that's like it was like one of the more iconic ones.
Ooh, bear.
There's the bear stew. That's been the biggest thing because you can do it. Everyone's had pork. Everyone's had beef.
Yeah.
Everyone's had some weird things, but not a lot of people have bear. Stew. Not a lot of people have bear.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard good things. I've heard bad things.
Like actual bear?
Yeah. Ooh. Like you can actually get bear.
I don't think I'd want to try that. But yeah, based off of just like what we've seen on, like I said, on the screen, I think for me it's gonna be Elle's Strawberry Shortcake because to me it's just looks way more delicious than just like stew.
Like, they pull that thing out and you're just like, yeah, I'd eat the fuck out of that.
Yeah.
It's like the moment they like brings that out.
And I'm not even like the biggest fan of strawberries, but just like that one always looks so good.
I'm not a big sweets guy, but I mean you see that thing, you're like, yeah, I'd probably eat half that fucking thing right now.
Yeah. So we agree, Elle's cake.
Strawberry Shortcake.
All right, moves on. Next matchup we have the other cake, this time from Portal, the Black Forest cake, versus the pork roast from Food Wars.
This is an easy one for me. I've never even touched Portal, so I'm going with the Gotcha pork roast from Food Wars because that shit looks fucking awesome. I mean, the Portal cake, I've seen what it looks like. I know, obviously, it's just
big giant.
It just looks like it just looks like a cake.
Looks so good.
And it's like, yeah. I mean, any cartoon or like video game cake's gonna look way better. And it's like this thing looks fucking like perfect.
Yeah, the cake's a lie. So even looking at it, it's like it's not real, but it just looks so delicious. It's just like cherries on top, and then just like I'm assuming it's like coconut and chocolate. It's just for me, I'm a big like chocolate cake guy, but like German chocolate, and this kind of reminds me of German chocolate, and I'm like, oh, it looks so good. But I think we already have the cake advancing, so we can't have another cake. But
I feel like it's too many, especially that's too many sweets, and I was like,
yeah. But the pork roast, when you see it from Food Wars, It's just so iconic.
That shit, it's steamy. It's
glistening.
covered in fucking bacon.
Yeah.
Who doesn't love that shit? And at the end of the day, it's not even pork roast. It's potato.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Because they took his meat.
Yeah, so
that's what
they
it
have
was.
to kind of
they
figure
tried
it
to
out.
screw him over by taking his meat away.
That's
so he's
right.
like, gotcha. You
Yeah.
thought.
And he serves it up with some gravy, I guess? Or...
Yeah, it's like a gravy I think he makes from like what was it? I think it's like the bacon fat and something else he makes.
Okay.
Because it's literally just like, he gets like this potato stuff, and he forms it into like the roast, wraps it in bacon, cooks that whole thing, and then that's what it comes out to.
Oh, that's right. It's called the gotcha.
Yeah,
roast.
because it
gotcha.
doesn't actually, I mean, aside from the bacon, have meat.
That's true. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna do the pork roast as well. So pork roast will advance.
And everyone's wanted to make it too. I want to make it. Anyone who's seen it, it's like, I could probably do that. I think it's one of the more easier recipes from Food Wars, but
You think
I
you
haven't
could do
seen
it?
all of them.
Oh, I was like, you think you can make it?
I was like,
All right, next matchup we have Hal's Breakfast from Hal's Moving Castle versus Pork Katsudon, seen in various animes, but in this case we're gonna do the pork roast from Yuri on Ice.
because the one from Yuri on Ice is a bit more like, they kind of focus, like, I think that's like his whole thing, is that like,
It's a specialty.
it fuels him. Like, he loves to ice skate as much as he loves his pork katsudon.
Got it.
Again, never seen it. This is all based on speculation.
Oh, from you personally, yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't either. I just know those fucking opening songs a banger. All right, so pork katsudon.
Plus, you look at this pork
from-
katsudon, and it's just
Oh.
like, you're like, damn,
Looks pretty good.
that looks pretty damn good. It's
Alright.
because like then he takes a bite of it, and you hear like the crunch of the pork when he takes a bite. You're just like,
That sounds
oh,
delicious.
that's satisfying.
Yeah, okay. All right, and then we got Hal's Breakfast, which is just bacon and eggs, but the way he cooks it.
I mean,
and
you look at
just
that
looks
though. It's like it's
delicious.
being cooked by Calcifer, a magic fire,
Yeah.
and feeding him the eggshells. So like being able to dispose of your trash at the same time. It's
Yeah.
just like
Convenient.
convenient.
I
There's
think
just
it's-
something.
Have you ever tried cooking bacon and eggs together? Like it's
Not like
so
that.
hard.
No, it does. Like I'd be afraid, and I'm pretty sure that's cast iron.
Yeah, he's doing cast iron. It's gotta be good though, because nothing sticks. But yeah, this is another one that like I just grew up wanting so bad. Every time I see it, I'm like, fuck, it looks so good. So I think looks wise, I have to give it to Hal's Breakfast. But as far as like what I'd want and what looks more delicious,
Because you look at the pork katsudon, like it doesn't look as good.
Yeah.
Because you literally like dump an egg on top of it when it's not all the way cooked and let the heat kind of finish cooking it.
Yeah.
But I was like, I mean, I want to eat it, but I was like, looks wise, no, definitely. Calcifer's breakfast. There's something about that bacon eggs that just looks like
So good.
that looks so damn good.
It's hard to beat Ghibli food like as far as it looks.
Yeah, it's true. Ghibli with anything is just like you can't win. Like that.
And it's
that
a
man.
thick cut bacon too.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Going in.
Yeah, and then your boy,
Going
young
in.
man, just going ham sandwich on that bacon.
Yeah, I gotta give it to Hal's because it's just hard to beat Ghibli food.
It is hard to beat that. It's like, and who doesn't love a good brekkie?
Yeah, who doesn't? All right, next matchup we have the Foul Burger from Cluck and Bell from Grand Theft Auto versus Sea Salt Ice Cream from Kingdom Hearts
Oh man,
Dose.
oh.
Everyone has always wanted sea salt ice cream, and I've made it several times, and it doesn't taste how I want it to taste. Because you see it, and you're like,
yeah, you see it, and you're like,
I want it to taste like that.
yeah, and you never know like what it's gonna fucking taste like.
Yeah.
Because it's Kingdom Hearts, but
Like I go back and forth with having like salty and sweet together. Sometimes it's really good, but sometimes I'm like, I want more sweet than I do.
I think
salty.
that's the point of it. It's supposed to be like more of like a creaminess, but like a hint of salt.
Yeah.
But it's just like you see like the blue that it has, and like especially it's just that popsicle shape. I don't know what about that shape. It just makes it look even better.
Mm-hmm. So and then the Cluck and Bell, the Foul Burger, just basically is a double chicken patty burger, and it has like cheese and onions, and it just looks delicious. And there's a scene in I think it's 4 where he just like goes ham on it, and you see him eating it, and you're like, yeah, that looks really good.
You can't go out and you can't go wrong with a chicken sandwich, classic, but a double chicken sandwich. Now you're speaking my language.
Yeah. And it's just ugh.
Everybody gets double cheeseburgers, and you're like, yeah, been there, done that. But a double chicken sandwich
What's the most you've done like as far as like patties?
as patties?
Is it
I've
like
only
4x4?
I've probably only done 2.
2? Yeah, I don't think
I've probably done like double fisted double cheeseburgers. I've never like put it together for a 4x4.
Oh, that's
I
nice.
want to one day, but I don't think I'd be able to eat all that.
Have you ever eaten them at gangbang?
No.
You know what it is?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, so I think that's the most I've done. I've done it like the real way, where you put the whole sandwich inside the sandwich instead of like some people just take the
patties.
thighs, the hot spicy and put
Yeah.
it between the McDoubles, but no, you gotta go full out. So yeah,
So you look at
ice cream.
the color of the ice cream, and like just watching them eat it, you're just like I've always wanted that. Like that one of those like for as simple as it is, that's something I've always wanted.
Yeah.
Like it's from there.
What do you think it is? Like the flavor overall?
I think it's more. I think it's like vanilla, honestly.
Vanilla? So
yeah.
vanilla and salt?
I think it's like it's just like a creamy vanilla with just like a hint of salt. So you get like a little bit of sweetness from the vanilla, and then you get a little bit of salt to kind of like help balance it out. That's what most people do.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's anything crazy. Like I don't think it's like any flavor or anything like that.
Really?
I think it's just like
I get like lime.
if anything, I would think like blueberry.
Yeah.
Because obviously it's blue.
The color.
Yeah. That's my first like go-to hint. It's just like more like a fruit, like a berry type thing. Yeah. But I think it's more just like a vanilla. But I've also seen people make it, so it's kind of like why I know.
Yeah.
It's kind of just a cream, and then obviously the foul burger. It's like
just double.
It's a double chicken sandwich. Like it looks fucking bomb.
Yeah.
Because you just want to eat that, but we're also hungry. So
yeah, I
it's
was
hard.
like, currently as it is, like in
We haven't
real
eaten.
life, I would pick the foul burger because I'm fucking hungry. But I think overall, like iconic and looks and like me wanting it, I would pick sea salt.
Yeah, I think for like what I want right now, I would eat the foul burger. But I think for the bracket, I am personally gonna vote for the sea salt ice cream.
All right, so sea salt ice cream advances. All right, next matchup, we have the Nako from Kim Possible,
Damn.
made famous by Ron Stoppable, versus the Reptile Bar from Red
The
Rats.
Reptile Bar.
Regular old Reptile Bar.
Regular old Reptile Bar.
They have Reptile Bars.
I was
in
gonna say
real
they
life,
actually made them.
but it's not like I said.
It's
based
not
off
gonna
what we've
be.
seen.
Yeah, it's like based off what we've seen. It's just not gonna be as good. Then you have the Nako.
Yeah.
That Ron makes, and it's something about the way he folds up. That when you see him make it, and he like folds up what I would assume is the shell of the taco.
Yeah.
Around that thing, like something about it just looked hella
So
nice.
good. And it looks sloppy. And there's something about food and shows and animation where it looks, if it's sloppy, it looks delicious.
Because it
Softer,
doesn't look
looks-
greasy. It just
Yeah.
looks sloppy. Like it just looks like there's cheese pouring out of that thing. And I'm having a hard time speaking because I'm already drooling staring at that
Jeez,
thing.
look at that. So he literally just dumps a whole thing of nachos.
Into a taco shell.
Yeah.
And then like I said, the way he folds it, it's not like a hard shell either. He folds it up like a baby, like the stork folding up the baby. Then you got
The Reptile Bar.
the Reptile Bar, just chocolate bar. Got,
like-
what's the inside?
It's like green slime.
Is it green? Was that a flavor?
But I'm not sure if it has a flavor. It turns your tongue green, perhaps?
I know it turns your tongue green. I knew that part. Cause I was like, I did do it in the show. That was the whole thing.
So when I see green, I just think of like automatically green apple.
Green apple, which is like.
When I think of Reptile Bars, I think of like the caramel apple lollipops.
Oh, okay,
So that's
yeah,
why I
yeah.
imagine it tasting like those chocolate, I guess.
I was like, it wasn't until they made it that I actually thought like, what flavor could this ever be? I just thought
Chocolate.
I just thought chocolate, and it turned your tongue green.
It could be it.
Like I don't know how, but.
I think I'm gonna have to go Nako on this one.
I think basically, I was like, I think we have a lot of sweets, and like right now, I was like, I'm not a sweets guy. I'm not a sweet guy.
He's evil.
I'm evil. But the Nako is, I think, like the Reptile Bar, like for its time, was like, yeah, this looks pretty good. But I was like, there was other things. But you see the Nako, and you're like, I could make that right fucking now, and I want to. It's about like I'm telling you, it's just the fold for me. Like once he folds that bitch up, takes a bite out of it, I was like,
It's over.
done.
All right,
Give me that.
it's a wrap at that point. Get it?
Ah?
A wrap. Yeah, so the Nako advances. Moving on. Next matchup, final matchup for the first round. We have the berries from Pokemon. Take your pick. You could do the orange berry. You could do the
Whatever you like. Citrus,
citrus berries. The
Pecha,
there's a bunch of
friggin' chili, hoppo, kelpsy. I'll keep going. I don't want to.
berries from Pokemon versus the pizza from Goofy Movie.
Oh man.
So if you're wondering like why is pizza from Goofy Movie all the way down here, the way the bracket's working, we have the higher seeds on the bottom, so 1 and 2 coming up to each other. So this would be the second seed technically. So pizza from Goofy Movie is the second seed, meaning it's the second most popular food. So
Because anybody who knows,
it's
that cheese pool
yeah.
is iconic.
I don't think we have to go into detail here.
No,
I think
we really
easily the pizza from Goofy Movie
Easy,
just washes,
cheesy,
literally.
washes.
All right,
the
so
berries.
moving into the Elite 8. Here we go. We have the number 1 seed Ichiraki Ramen versus the number 9 seed Kronk's Spinach Puffs. Emperor's New Groove.
So we go back. Looks, you're looking. I mean, Ichiraki Ramen's got a lot going on.
Yep.
You got like it's an iconic. It's an art on a plate.
Yeah.
Spinach puffs, they're simple. There's not a lot going on. A little bit of green,
an
kind of
appetizer.
off balance. Yeah, off balance. The puff pastry, the golden brown. They don't look bad per se, especially like Kronk's. Like it's just like perfect little pyramids of spinach puff pastry. They look really good.
Yeah.
But then you hit then you have like the Ichiraki Ramen. It's got all kinds of different colors. Like it's art in a bowl.
Yeah. I think for me it's gonna be the ramen because it plays a bit of a bigger role in Naruto than the Spinach Puffs does.
Iconically, yeah, I think it's like spinach puff kind of just makes like its one-time thing. It stuck around for a lot of people and fans like myself, and it hurts to say that I can't pick Kronk's spinach puff.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick the ramen. But
I
the
think we're gonna
Spinach
have to
Puffs,
go-
Kronk, I'm sorry.
to avoid the angry mobs, we're gonna have to go with the Ichiraki Ramen. But no, deep in my heart, Kronk, it will always be your spinach puffs.
It's true. All right, next matchup. L's Strawberry Shortcake, the number 5 seed, versus the number 4 seed Pork Roast from Food Wars.
See, and this is where it gets weird, because
This
now
is
we
a
have to
hard
decide between dessert and dinner.
Yeah. And it's... I don't know, man. This cake
Because
looks
then
so
again, you look at that
good.
cake, and it has, like, layers. You got, like, cake, you get that frosting. It's like a whipped cream frosting, too, so it's light and fluffy.
Yeah.
With the strawberries inside. Cake, another layer of that whipped cream, and then more cake on top. So it's just like... It's hard. If you look at it, you're like, damn, I could eat that any time of the day.
Yeah. It's just a perfect little, like, dessert. Like, you just want a little cakey cake to wrap your night up, and this would just be, like, the perfect little slice.
And the gotcha pork roast, like, it also looks like it's steamy. Like I said, wrapped in bacon. I love potatoes in any shape, way, or form. I will fuck that shit up. And then you have the gravy, little gravy pool it's sitting in. Like, it's just... This one's difficult.
Yeah.
Because it's like...
For me, I think I would be upset to eat the roast and have no meat.
If I didn't know...
Yeah,
I would understand. Like, obviously, like, he does it for a reason. But if I didn't know that there was not going to be meat in it and I took a bite of it, I might be a little upset.
Yeah.
Not me personally. It was just like... Because I love potato, once again. So I'd be like, this is weird, but it's not bad.
Yeah, I just want
It's
something
unique,
different.
which I think gives it bonus points. But I think at the end of the day, iconically, everybody loves the strawberry shortcake.
Yeah.
This one is like I said, one of those Japanese ones. So you know what this shit's light, fluffy.
Look at them expensive strawberries, too.
Oh yeah, when the expensive ass strawberries, the ones that are like
$8 for each one?
Yeah.
I'm gonna vote L's cake.
We're gonna have to go with L's strawberry shortcake because now that I'm breaking it down a little more, like I think of them layers, like how light and fluffy that shit is. I'm like,
Yeah. All right, next matchup we have the number 3 seed Hal's Breakfast versus the number 6 seed Sea Salt Ice Cream. So again, we have savory versus sweet. Oh, this is tough. This one's tough. Like I think it's really hard to beat Ghibli food the way it
I was
looks.
gonna say it's not really that tough for me. I'm choosing the breakfast already.
Really?
I'm a big Kingdom Hearts fan, but at the end of it, I was like, when it comes down to it, like
It's just ice cream.
it's just ice cream. It's probably just vanilla ice cream with a little bit of salt on it. It looks really good, and I would want it, but I would want the video game one.
Yeah.
I want the one that I see in the show. I've seen it made in real life, and it just doesn't hit the same way. Like real life sucks.
Mm-hmm.
But you look at that, like same thing though. It's like you have it's bacon and eggs, but there's just something about the way
It's presented.
and it's cooked, like the whole process of the thing inside Hal's castle, which is just cool. Being cooked by a fire demon that is Calcifer. Like, I could go on.
Yeah.
I pick Hal's breakfast.
I do too. Hal's Breakfast moves on. Next final matchup for the Elite 8, we have the number 7 seed Nako versus the number 2 Pizza from Goofy Movie.
So now this is hard.
This is pretty hard.
This is pretty hard because it comes
Tough.
down to my love for Mexican food and my love for pizza.
Which one's it gonna be?
It comes down to the folding of the Nako.
Yeah.
When he takes a bite of it, he's got this pouch of like ground beef and beans and whatever else is fucking in there, cheese. But then you see when freaking Petey pulls the fucking
Pizza and the cheese stretch.
that cheese stretch, and you're just like,
That is
oh
the
my
most
goodness.
cheesiest pizza
There's
I've ever seen.
there's no pepperoni falling off. Like, it's just cheese.
It's something like, so burgers, popcorn, and pizza always look so much better in cartoons.
Every
You
time.
eat them, you're like, this is not what I want it to be.
'Cause it makes you want it, and then you go eat it, and you're like,
This is not what I imagined it
yeah,
tasting
not
like.
at all. Because I can't get a cheese stretch like that from any pizza I've had in real life.
Yeah. And
You
then,
can get a little, like maybe like close to it, but there's nothing. And then you look at the Nako, like that whatever that is dripping off of there. I'm not gonna
seems
say
like
it's green. It
cheese.
looks like cheese to me.
I think it's cheese,
And I
'cause
love
nachos.
cheese. Like goddamn. So you see that shit like pouring off of there. That makes it comes down to the cheese for me, and it's hard because it's either dripping nacho cheese or the stringy pull of the mozz.
Yeah.
Trying
I'm
to
going pizza. What do you
not
got?
drool. Iconically, I have to go with the Goofy Movie pizza. There's just it's the cheese pull, and it's just something that's always stuck with me. The Nako has always stuck around with me too. It just seems a little bit, I guess, easier to pull off.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, like you can't get a cheese pull like that. You show me a 6-foot long cheese pull, maybe I'll change my mind.
Yeah. So pizza advances?
I say pizza advances.
All right. Here we go. The final 4. So to recap for you guys, the final 4 contestants are Ichiraki Ramen from Naruto, L's Cake from Death Note, Hal's Breakfast from Hal's Moving Castle, and the pizza from Goofy Movie. So interestingly, only one that's not anime. So anime probably has the best looking food amongst all the medias.
That's true.
because it's there, but it's not over yet. So here we go. The first matchup, we have the number 1 seed, Ichiraki Ramen, versus the number 5 seed, L's Strawberry Shortcake.
So now we get into comfort food that is ramen.
Yeah.
It's a broth, it's noodles, it's meat.
Oodles and noodles.
Oodles and noodles. Like, most people don't get the fish cake and all that other stuff, but again, we're going off what we see.
Yeah.
So it's like, I've never had a fish cake. I'm assuming it's okay. The rest of that looks really good. I love me a good ramen egg. And then you have a strawberry cheesecake. Or, not strawberry cheesecake, a strawberry shortcake. I think it's a shortcake, pretty sure.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a cheesecake.
It's a strawberry shortcake.
Yeah, you have strawberry shortcake. And again, it's layered, and that cake is light and fluffy.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen it made, and you can see how thick that cake is, how thick that frosting is. Like,
Delicious.
it shouldn't be structurally sound and hold up like that, but it does.
Look at this. Look at the bowl of Ichiraki Ramen.
Yeah, then you look at that. Yeah, then you look at that bowl.
Packed.
It's packed up with all that. Like, you usually get like 3, maybe 4 slices of pork at best. This man is rocking at least 8 to 9 slices of char siu pork.
I was leaning L's cake, but then I pulled up this other picture from a different angle from the ramen, and that just doesn't.
Look at that perfectly sliced ramen egg. The yolk's perfect. 2 fish cake. It's got 3 slices of seaweed. And it's like, how much do you think Naruto pays for that? I bet you jack shit.
I think it was cheap. I think they confirmed it was like $3 to $4.
Yeah, because it's Naruto, and he doesn't
is.
make a lot of money.
He lives
He
alone.
lives by himself.
He has to be able to afford it.
I know that the Ichiraki Ramen guy kind of helps him out sometimes. Like, that man has been Naruto's A1 Day 1 guardian.
Yeah. I'm gonna go ramen.
I think, because I have to go ramen. It's more of a comfort food. I feel like at the end of the day, if you were to hold both of those in front of me, I'm going to pick ramen like 9 times out of 10.
Yeah. So ramen advances to the final round. All right, next matchup we have Howl's Breakfast versus the pizza from Goofy Movie.
When you think about it, they're both pretty basic.
Yeah.
It's pizza and it's
Versus
bacon and eggs.
Bacon and eggs.
Now we go into looks. You got that beautiful cheese pool. I think, personally, the pepperoni in there could have looked a little better, but I'm focusing mainly on the cheese here.
Yeah.
I mean, look at that. It's just like, nothing else is falling off but the cheese.
Yeah.
But then,
Bacon and eggs.
Yeah, you see the bacon and eggs from just anything Ghibli animated. But yeah, so it's difficult. So you see you can see the sizzling of the bacon fat in the pan coming off, the glistening off the pan. I think what it comes down to, unfortunately, is that like aside from the cheese, that's all that pizza really has going on for me. Like, it looks really good when he pulls the cheese out of there. But other than that, it's just like when they're eating it, I just think of the other guy eating the cheese whiz, so it kind of puts me off. It's a Leaning Tower cheese.
I think I'm the opposite of you. I think as good as the animation from Ghibli looks, and it's hard to beat, I think the Goofy Movie's pizza is just such an iconic scene. And if you talk to anybody and ask them what is your top 5, food from animation, they're gonna say pizza is gonna be like the number one. The Goofy Movie. Pizza.
I think when it comes down to it, iconically, it would win because everyone's thinking of that cheese pool.
I think for me, I'm gonna have to pick pizza from Goofy Movie. It's so iconic, and you think about the cheese.
I think for our time, it's very iconic, and I think Howl's Moving Castle is more of like a niche audience.
Are you leaning towards?
I think I'm gonna have to lean towards pizza.
Let's go,
Leaning
pizza.
Tower of pizza.
The lone non-anime representative advances to the final round. The upset. Let us know down below what your upset was so far. But here we go into the final battle here. We have the number 1 seed, Ichiraki Ramen, versus the number 2 seed. Look at that. 1 and 2 went.
1 and 2.
For the pizza from Goofy Movie. So who wins? The Ichiraki Ramen or the pizza from Goofy Movie?
Ugh.
This one is they were 1 and 2 for a reason. They're the most iconic, I think, and they're just hard to beat because it's pizza
tough.
and ramen. Like, it's the toughest foods. It's like the opposites of the food spectrum, I guess. It's soup, and it's warm, and it's hot, and it's vegetables and noodles, and it's just pizza. Just tomato sauce, cheese, and pepperoni. It's like they're both simple in their own ways, but they're also very complex if you make them a certain way. And it's just these two presented to us through our childhoods. Which one do you prefer? Which one is edgy for you?
This one's messing my brain up. I can't even think straight. It's just hard to decide. It's like, it's that pizza, man. It's just like, there's something about it.
It's mesmerizing.
It is. It's like, especially for the scene that it pops up in like that. It's like, that was like one of the turning point in the movie.
Yeah.
Where it's just like, starting to get into like, Goofy starts to know.
Questioning his
yeah,
son.
like that Max isn't really in it for the trip and stuff like that. So it's like really tugs at the emotion, heartstrings. It's what keeps me around. It's like why it's so iconic. And it's like, Ichiraki Ramen, I think it's more.
What's a bigger vibe?
Yeah.
Eating in a ramen house or eating in like a hotel?
Because like they do touch on it throughout the anime. Like, I want to say a lot. Like I think it's a lot more in the first episode because the first season of Naruto, just because like that was like his thing. That's kind of like the guy who took care of him, so they kind of have to like put that across. But then it's like they don't really. It's not that they don't show it again, but it's like they don't really cut back to it till like later on, like where he's like the Hokage again, and they're all eating there, and it like throws it back. Yeah, it's just like, look at this GIF. Like, I don't know if you can put the GIF in the video.
I'll find it.
We're looking at this GIF right now. Like,
it's that cheese pool.
Jesus. Like,
it's so...
Good Lord.
So 90s that, like, pizza, we just became enthralled with it. I don't know who started it in a culture.
Oh, especially in the 90s culture, it was pizza, it was skating, it was... And that's what the whole Goofy movie was about for the most part. Like, there were skater boys, they loved pizza. It was 90s. Like, it was just boom. Yeah. For us, like, fuck it. Give me the pizza. I pick pizza. I'm not even gonna think about it anymore.
You think pizza? Really?
I'm picking the pizza.
Wow, that's crazy. I was gonna probably lean on ramen. It's hard, and it's funny because it's the Disney budget for them to make a movie and to make that pizza look that good versus just like weekly Naruto ramen to look that good. Like that, the animation for the week. Here you go. Here's some ramen, and it just shows like the animation styles, like the Western versus the Eastern style of just presenting food. Yeah. All right. Well, I think ramen. So we're tied currently. So I think we should call a friend to decide this final vote. Our good buddy, the professional henchman. Let's see if he answers for us.
Yeah, let's see if he answers first. Okay. He's gonna think it's weird that you're calling him in the first place.
Why are you calling me? Damn, he's not gonna answer for me. Hello, Christopher Ortiz.
That's my name.
You're live on the air with Dynamic Entry. You know us. You love us.
How you doing, sir?
I do and I do.
You're going to be the final vote here. We're doing a bracket of fictional food, and we are in the final round, and it's a tie. We both voted for the opposite one. So the final representatives are Ichiraki Ramen from Naruto versus the pizza from a Goofy movie. You're on the microphone. Whatever you say.
I don't know how you expect that pizza to beat this out. But...
Have you seen the pizza from the Goofy movie? I just want to just refresh yourself with it. Do you remember it?
I'm aware of the extra drippy ooey gooiness of the pizza, but I'm more invested in the emotional support of having to deal with friends and comrades dying in front of you and in your arms, and having an old man hand you a bowl of pork ramen with extra pork and Naruto fish cakes and saying, well, "It's all right, son. You know, you're gonna be all right."
So everything Christian said, it's funny because Christian voted pizza and I voted ramen, and Christian said the same thing. He's like, the ramen is just so representative of his childhood and da-da-da-da, and he ended up going pizza. So that's your final vote, the ramen?
Yeah.
The ramen wins.
So there you go, you guys have it.
There you are. There you are, folks at home.
The Ichiraki Ramen wins, pizza loses. Thank you, professional henchman, for your professional opinion.
Thank you, sir.
Every time.
Goodbye.
Later.
So there you go. The ramen officially wins the best fictional food in any form of fiction.
I ain't even mad. I'm not mad.
I would have been happy either way.
Yeah, honestly, it's like you can't go wrong there.
Yeah, they're both iconic in their own right. Like I said, it's just a battle of Western.
I think it's a bit unfair.
Eastern animation.
Chris loves ramen. You cheated.
Hey, I would call our other buddy Mike, but Mike hates anime, and he would be like, "I picked." Pizza.
I was like, honestly, anyway, I could call Thomas. He'd pick ramen.
Yeah. So we had to pick the most middle person we know. So yeah, shout out to Chris again, professional henchman. Shout out to us. Shout out to you guys for watching. Thank you guys for watching. Shout out to all the foods. That's gonna be it. Your ramen wins. So let us know down below what you think should have won, what you think wasn't even represented that should have been on here that should have won. All that stuff down below. Let us know your favorite meals. All that good stuff.
Argue with us down in the comments below. Tell us what you think. We're gonna go get some food now.
Yeah, we are. So thank you guys for watching. As always, subscribe, like the video, watch our other videos, follow us, all that fun stuff, and all the links will be down below. So catch you guys in the next one. Go eat some food.